Algebraic expressions. This is a review of part 1. In today's lesson, students will review how to evaluate algebraic expressions using substitution. Using what? Very good. So let's review the vocabulary words we learned from yesterday. Okay? The first word that I want to go over is variable. Okay? The variable is the letter. The variable is the what? It's the letter. So read it with me. It says variable, a letter used to represent a number. Okay? Now, something different from yesterday is variable means that it can change. So the number could be any number. And the letter that we typically use to represent that number is X. We use what? X. Okay, that's the letter. All right, so substitution, you can repeat after me. Say substitution. Putting a number in the place of a letter. What do? Putting a number in the place of a letter. And just in case you didn't notice from yesterday, this is a number. The number is 5. I'm putting it in the place of a letter. Okay, do you know what letter this is in sign language? It's A. That's right. Because sometimes the variable can be A. All right? So say substitution. Putting a number in the place of a letter. And another word for letter is variable. It's what? Variable. Okay? So yesterday you saw a bunch of expressions. And an expression, read it with me, contains numbers and variables or letters with no equal sign. Does it have an equal sign? No. There is no equal sign in an expression. Okay? So an example like we learned from yesterday is x plus 5. This is an expression. What's the variable? The variable is x. What is the number? The number is 5. And an expression will always have an operation between the variable and the number. So what's the operation here? It's addition. That's right. Okay? Operations can be addition. What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. They can be multiplication or division. Very good. So let's go over what it means to evaluate an expression. Again, to evaluate an expression, that means using substitution to get a value or an answer for the expression. Okay? So today we have a different example. And it says, evaluate the expression if x equals 4. Now we have this fraction. Okay? It is a fraction. It says 24 divided by x. What does it say? 24 divided by x. This is a way that you can represent division. Again, a fraction bar means division. It means what? Division. So this is what this means. 24 divided by x could also be written as 24 divided by x. A third way to write this problem is 24 divided by x. Okay, all right. So basically, it is saying, if you take 24 and you divide it by x, do we know what x is? What is x? It tells us if x equals 4. Okay, so we're going to have to substitute x. Okay, that means we're going to put 4. 4 is the number. We're going to put it in the place of the letter. All right? So over here, I'm going to erase this now. I can say, okay, well, what that's telling me to do is take 24 and divide it by 4. Isn't that what it's saying? 24 divided by 4. Now, we ask ourselves, how many times do I skip count by 4 to get to 24, right? How many times? This is saying 24 divided by 4. And we can say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So how many times? It's how many times? Okay, the answer is 6. Yeah, 24 divided by 4. And in algebra, you will most often see division represented as a number with a fraction bar divided by another number. You will no longer see long division written like this. In today's examples, I've chosen a different variable to represent the number. And the variable I've chosen is y. So we're going to take a look at some expressions. The first expression is y minus 4. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use y minus 4. First, we're going to substitute 1 because y equals 1. So we're going to say, okay, we're going to take 1 and then we're going to subtract 4. So from yesterday, you know, when you're trying to subtract a bigger number, you're taking a positive 1 and subtracting a 4, which really means, are they different signs? Yes, that's a positive 1 and a negative 4. So you say different signs, subtract. So that would be 4 minus 1, which is 3, but you're going to keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 4, and there's a negative sign next to it, or a subtraction sign. So the answer is negative 3. Okay, very good. Next, let's plug in a 3. Okay, so if y equals 3, we're going to substitute it in the place of y. So we'll say 3 take away 4. Well, that's a positive 3 and a negative 4. You have different signs. So you're going to subtract. You're going to say 4 minus 3. And what's the answer? Is it 1? It's negative 1, right? Because the bigger number is 4 and it has a negative sign next to it. So negative and subtraction can mean the same thing, okay, in this case. Last one is y equals 5. Okay, so let's plug in a 5 now, and we're going to subtract 4. Here, the bigger number is 5, and it's positive. So this is really just saying 5 take away 4, which we know is what? 5 take away 4 is positive 1. That's right. So this next expression is a little bit different. It says 4 take away y, okay? The one we did before was y take away 4. So let's go ahead and do this. It's going to be a little easier because we're going to start with 4 minus, what is y? Y is 1. So what is 4 take away 1? Again, you have a bigger positive number, right? 4 minus 1. It's just positive. So the answer is 3. Very simple, right? Next, we're going to take 4, but we're going to subtract what? What is y here? Y is 3. So what is 4 minus 3? 4 minus 3 is positive 1. Again, here this said 3 minus 4. So 3 minus 4 is negative 1. But 4 take away 3, because the bigger number is positive 1. In the last example, we have 4. But now we're going to substitute 5 for y. So we're going to subtract 5. Now when you take a bigger number from a smaller number, you're working with integers. You have a positive 4 and a negative 5. Different signs, right? So you subtract 5 minus 4, which is 1. But the bigger number is negative. So here the answer is negative 1. Go ahead and get that down.